The inevitable end. Retribution. Here is Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker, who died as they lived, by the gun.
It was the golden age of gangsters. Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, John Dillinger, Babyface Nelson, Bonnie and Clyde. So-called Depression desperados, whose exploits were widely circulated, sensationalized accounts of murder, kidnapping, and robbery that made them legends in their own time. Folk heroes to some, and public enemies to others. The criminal notoriety of the early 1930s was born out of a toxic mix: Prohibition and the Great Depression. Underworld enterprises blossomed, and law enforcement nationwide was unprepared and overwhelmed, continually outfoxed and outgunned by crews of outlaws who were as cunning as they were malicious, a distinction that could easily be extended to Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker. Bonnie and Clyde were among the most romanticized crooks and killers of their day. Young and wild, with an insatiable appetite for delinquency. Along with a few accomplices, the two set out on their infamous spree in 1932, traveling throughout the central United States, running a series of robberies that inevitably escalated into murders. Their lawless escapades caught the public's attention in 1933, when they were forced to escape this hideout in Joplin, Missouri. Inside, police found rolls of undeveloped film. A local newspaper developed and published some of them, including this picture of Bonnie posing with a cigar and a pistol. It wasn't long before Bonnie and Clyde were headline news around the country. The increased attention did little to dissuade Bonnie and Clyde. If anything, they grew even more brazen, killing with a reckless confidence. On several occasions, they barely evaded arrest. And by 1934, the law had had enough. Former Texas Ranger Frank Hamer was hired on to hunt Bonnie and Clyde down. It took a few months, but Hamer and his posse eventually tracked the duo to Bienville Parish, Louisiana. And on May 23, 1934, Bonnie and Clyde's fate was sealed, ambushed as they roared down Louisiana State Highway 154 in a stolen 1934 Ford Deluxe.
The Barrow and Parker death car. Every one of these holes was made by the steel-jacketed bullets from the high-powered rifles in the hands of the officers. Many of these bullets passed entirely through the door on Clyde's side, through Clyde's body, struck Bonnie, passed through her body, then out through the door on her side of the car.
Clyde Barrow was 25 years old. Bonnie Parker was 23. Two short and violent lives that only seemed to grow more notorious, if not mythological, as time went on. There's an enduring fascination that's shared with the other Public Enemy-era renegades, most of whom would meet similar ends, brought down in a hail of bullets.